right here. J.A.B, the Nate Juice, drums on the tracks. Cheer.
I'm a dream catcher. I'm a dream catcher, not a dream snatcher.
That's right.
You can never hold me down. You can never hold me down. I'm a dream catcher.
Come on.
I'm a dream catcher, not a dream snatcher. You can never hold me down. You can never hold me down.
Hey yo, haters try to knock me down. They can't knock my hustle or copy my style. Was nice back then, and I'm hot right now. Black Hawk in the skies who fly to
What's
be shot
good,
down.
my people? This
Say
is
what you
Jason,
want, you
Mr.
can't
Results
deny
Williams,
that.
aka the Dapper Rapper, Realtor, aka J.A.B, Just Business. Yes, and we're here interviewing the young, talented artist going by the name of Zero here.
Yo, I'm LA, aka Zero, and we're here at Open Space Art Gallery talking about these and me and everything.
Yes, sir. So, Zero, tell us, how'd you get started in, the art world? Like,
I was originally a sports boy, playing like all types of sports, and then
okay.
I started sneaking into my friend's art class,
Ah.
and because I wasn't enjoying my own art class, and so she really changed my perspective of art, and I thought I was always just able to draw, and I didn't think nothing of it. So I really just, she told me that I had something, and then I looked into Basquiat, and then there was too many relatable things that I was like, did he just like pass himself on to me or something like that? It was like, there's too many similarities, and I just was like, he took up all of my interests. Like, I've always had a hard time figuring out what I was going to be, what I was going to do, like if I was going to make it in sports, or what was my career future going to look like. Mm-hmm. And then at first I thought it was plumbing, and then I said I quit it, and then I was just like, I'm going to take art seriously. And I just started studying and studying and studying all from, like, I call them the three kings: Basquiat, Keith Haring, and Andy Warhol. Those are like my three goats. Those are like top tier, and like,
Okay.
I've got new people now, but those are like, that's foundation.
That's like the your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, quite
of
literally.
art.
You've got those three people: my art teacher, Miss Miller,
Okay.
and then that's really, she's the queen.
That's awesome. And what age was that at when you kind of figured out?
Was a sophomore, junior in high school. It was really like going into my junior year that I really started starting to get into like all of this. Sophomore year, I was really like playing around, but like serious about art. Like, I was making clothing, I was making shoes like way earlier than I was now. And then
Awesome.
it happened to change into canvas, and then like from canvas to like random trash. Like, I started falling in love with junk, like things like anything anybody gave me. I was like, oh, I can use this to point a message out, or I can use this to show something. It's like, I just had all these crazy ideas that I just wanted to bring to fruition.
Awesome. So
And
you found your passion while you were in high school.
Yeah, it's for a little bit, yeah.
And when was your? Do you remember when your first, I guess, canvas art piece was? Like, how old you were when you created that?
Oh, that was a boy. That was a boy. I'm not gonna lie. He's honestly probably here in this room, or it was actually two pieces.
Okay.
It was two pieces. It was a brother and a sister. Well, technically, yeah, they were two brothers, but they were my first ones. It was really a lot like this one. It was really simplistic, but the lines were a lot thicker like this, and that's what I would base around off and like do a lot of designs and everything. And that's where I noticed that, oh, I just found what I was looking for. And then with the teeth, that's where I really, really, like, I could have kept the mouths closed. I could have done so many other things, but smiling is important. Showing your teeth is important. And it's just
Okay.
like, I like to depict that. And when people ask me, are they sad? Are they like, what's their mood? I'm like, you see their teeth. They're shining. They're showing their pearly whites. So some people might think, for me, you can smile but still be something on the inside, you know.
Oh yeah. Sometimes people smile to hide the pain.
Exactly. So it's really just, you know, playing that game.
So when you're creating this art, how does it make you feel?
Every type of emotion possible, all of it. And it's like each one is completely different, you know. It really depends on how I go into it, you know. It really depends on what goes on in my day until I make that painting. And it's like, you know, it could be anything from like a car crash to like, you know, me having an argument, or me having a really good conversation with someone I just met, or me scrolling through Instagram and finding a quote, stuff like that. So like, or just something I hear on the radio. Any of that stuff is really important, and it helps me start a painting. And I just take that idea and I break it down and I rebuild it. And it's really just like, it really, when I take that quote or whatever and I match it with the color, and then things will just start, like my mind will start painting before my hands will start painting. I'll look at the canvas, see what I'm gonna do, and then the music will just do it. And I just,
So basically, it's just like your therapy.
yeah, it is therapy.
It's your therapy. When you're doing your art, you just, it's not work to you. You're just in a zone.
Yeah, this is
you
never
know?
work.
It could be. It gives you purpose.
Yep, it does.
Okay. And what would you say? What do you find? What inspires you? You know, to keep on, you know, creating this amazing artwork. You know, what is your inspiration, other than, you know, just your own self and your mood? Like, what inspires you?
The people that support me, really, like my family, my close friends, anybody that, you know, has helped me get to where I'm at right now. And they help build a lot of these pieces by themselves, you know, just by doing what they do for me. And so for me, that's like a big, you know, motivation for me to want to keep going, because my main goal is to make sure I can take care of everybody in the future. And I'm just like, the more that people support me in that way, you know, the more you know, you treat someone the same way you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And I believe in that statement really heavy. And, you know, I've never ever treated somebody with like bad intent ever. So it's like, I know if my heart is good and I treat someone that way, you know, most likely they're going to treat me that way. And so with family, it's just, it's good to have them, because sometimes, you know, some people's families aren't really there as much. And, you know,
that's true.
I just feel like I'm blessed to be able to
have a supportive family.
And then, you know, support is like one thing, and then, you know, people going through their own things by themselves is just, it's a lot. So, you know, all of that is a combination of what goes into these. And, you know, I just like, instead of taking it out on anything else or someone or things, it's as simple as, for me, throwing it on here and calling it a day. It's like, as soon as I'm done, it's like that feeling that I was holding in and that was on a shelf is immediately gone and thrown onto here, and I feel anymore. I can look at it and look at what I was feeling at that time and immediately be okay with it. And it's just,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's always good to have support, because like you said, some family doesn't support, and sometimes it's okay too, where as my aunt used to always tell me, it's okay to love people from a distance, because exactly. Sometimes just because you're blood related to somebody, you may have someone who's more of your family who's not blood related,
exactly.
Right? So it's important for us to know that too, and recognize where the people who are genuine and support you versus people who, as I like to call them, vibe and dream killers, you know, because you're going to have a lot of people who don't believe in you, and that's when you have to believe in yourself, right? You have to know, like, no, I'm passionate about this. And I'm sure when you could think about your first painting to now, you're like, wow, I came a long way. But that's the thing of not giving up and having those people in your corner who support you. Because sometimes you're human, right? You feel like you may be discouraged or feel like giving up. You say, wait a minute.
Exactly.
I love what I do, and the people believe in me. But for the most part, you have to believe in yourself.
Exactly. And then for me, that's where it all ties back to foundation. Mm-hmm. And foundation for me is everything.
Okay.
Like the three kings, my art teacher, my mother, everybody. But it's really like I really got like 3 different moms. It's like my art teacher, my actual mom, and my best friend's mom. It's just like all of that.
Good.
Really a 4, but like mostly mothers are really the reason why like I keep going. Like my art mom, she really pushes me, no matter what I'm doing. If I haven't worked on pieces for like 2-3 weeks, she won't give me any crap. She'll just be like, "Hey, I've already seen what you can do. You can do it." No matter like. She knows me like the back of my head, just like how my actual mother does. So it's really just like they know what I'm capable of, and I just try to prove it.
And sometimes you need that push.
Exactly, because
sometimes you may not feel like
you can't do it, and those people are there for a specific reason. And, I keep them there for a specific reason, and it's just like I don't plan on losing these people at any point. I'm gonna keep letting them be there and support me so I can support them in the future. And
that's awesome. And it's good that you recognize that at a young age, how important it is to have people in your corner to push you when you feel like you don't want to push yourself, like today or tomorrow, or like you say, a week past, I'm just tired, because the world will beat you down,
It
will. You just have to keep on pushing, because I feel like the world needs to see, your work, man. You're very talented. So tell us, Zero, Mr. LA also, what future, what is, what do you have coming up? What are your plans, for the future? Could we expect to see you and any other?
I've got an art residency coming up with Shashama this month, and I'll be gone for 6 months. And having an art show in Soho, New York.
New York.
I'll just be building until then. My whole goal is to just, for me, it's bigger and better. It's always bigger and better. That's what I feel about these. My whole thing is go big or go home. I'm not gonna go home, so I'm gonna keep going big.
Love it.
That's literally since high school. That's been my motto. Is I can't go small. It's just I've got messages I want to show, and I got messages I want people to see.
Awesome.
So it's got to be big.
How do you feel? How do you feel about this New York trip? Are you excited? Are you nervous, or are you all of those emotions in one?
All of them in one, really. It's really just like, it's kind of crazy, because like last year I was just starting here. Like literally last month was like May 31st was when I like started building for my show here.
Oh,
so
okay.
Now that I'm leaving to a whole different state to go pursue what I want to do, just shows that if you really put in that time,
look what can happen.
If you really put in that time, and it just things really can happen. And it's just, I try to tell kids that all the time, because I like to work with like elementary schools and like talk with kids and like tell them that stuff like this is possible.
It's possible.
And it's like I like when kids like come into the gallery, and then they see my stuff, and then they start asking all these questions, and I'm just like, I have all the answers for you. But some of them are it's like you got to figure it out. You'll figure it out when you get older. It's just, but for the most part, I try to give them as much as possible and tell them that I did not follow the roadmap correctly. I took so many left turns and so many right turns. It's just, even after all of those, you got to be able to straighten yourself out. That's what people are in support is for, but you also got to mentally yourself.
You have to want it. You have to want it. And guess what? Even though you figured it out, you can still have a time when you feel like where you may make another wrong turn, but you figure it out. So it's not about we all fall, right?
Yeah.
And throughout our lives, you could fall short, but the thing is how you get back up.
Exactly.
So you can stay down, or you can get back up. And sometimes when you're down, the only place to go is up, if you want it. But you have to want it.
You can stay on the ground if you want to.
Absolutely.
It's comfortable, but whole point of life is to really live uncomfortably, so you can be comfortable in the end.
Learn how to be uncomfortable so you can be comfortable. Man, you have a lot of wisdom for such a young man, and it just gives me joy in my heart to see that, because I feel like a lot of the world is missing that. So, and I love for the fact that you mentor kids, because dreaming, me myself being
It's
a,
important,
you have
know?
to dream, but then also I tell a lot of folks, because I used to mentor too, to say dream and also act on those.
That's why
dreams,
that piece in the back is so important, because that one, it says, what does it say? It don't cost an arm and a leg to dream, but I got the don't part crossed out.
Awesome.
Because in reality, it really does cost an arm and a leg to dream now. It's like the economy,
know.
people.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many obstacles that
It's like they're making
you
it more
have to come
difficult.
across
Yeah.
to get to your dream. And even when you hit your dream, you still have those barriers and that whole negative side. But you can't really do anything about that, because that's really just how life is gonna go.
And you got to stay grounded. That's why it's
Exactly.
important to have the right people around you, because you're gonna have a lot of temptations, right?
Exactly.
As you're gonna have, it's like call them the wolves are gonna be out.
Yep.
And sometimes they come in wolf in sheep clothing.
Yup.
They may come like they have good intentions, but they really don't.
Exactly.
So, always keep the like you said, the people who were there for you before the fame or the money
Exactly.
comes, because they know, like you say, they were supporting from day one. They believed in you.
Exactly.
So for the people that come after that,
It's
if
really
it's
it's
good
it's
intention.
kind of playing a game of chess, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's like, you can, that one person can make the right move, but they can cross you at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And put you in check. And that's something I try to like show in my pieces too, is to protect your heart, but at the same time, keep it open. Don't be
protect your
afraid
heart.
to
Yep.
allow someone to enter your life. But
For the right people. Always say,
Exactly.
everyone doesn't deserve your kindness.
Exactly.
If you understand what I mean, because
Exactly.
there are a lot of people in the world that are not kind.
Mhm.
So, yes, you
a lot of
protect
people
your
don't
heart,
stay
but
like
also
that.
don't open it up for the right people.
Exactly.
Man, that's so awesome. I'm so excited about the show you have coming up. Real quick, and we're not going to take too long, because I don't want to hold you up, but let's just go. If you could just tell us about some of your pieces, a little brief synopsis for each one, just so everyone could just get a feel of.
I'm gonna start from the right. So
Okay.
this is Pele. Everybody knows Pele. That's the GOAT. Rest in peace. I recently got into soccer like early January.
Okay.
And fell in love with the game. I used to hate soccer. I was a big baseball player. Could not stand soccer. But I grew up I learned a lot, and just like the culture in and of itself is really beautiful, and they have a lot of history in and of itself. So almost like Pele had to deal with a lot of discrimination and a lot of different stuff while he was playing, and it was just like for him to defy those odds and then become the best player in the world, win 3 World Cups. It's just like, okay, there is this is what a role model is, and it's there's only so many role models in the world now that are really legitly good people sometimes, and for me, I really thought he was one of them, and he's motivated so many of the biggest stars in the world, and he's an OG, and he's got so much knowledge on him, he's got so much wisdom, and there's just so many things that he could say right now that would change so many people's lives, in my opinion. And
Yeah, it seems like the good ones, they go too soon, but maybe it's God saying you completed the mission what I had you here for.
Exactly.
And and I'm sure he inspired so many other young men and women, to
Exactly.
say never give up, be consistent. It's one thing to be talented, but you need more than just the talent. You have to be consistent, and you have to do the work.
Exactly.
So,
And so he was just like, he helped me get out my comfort zone, really. And,
Cool.
go back to how I started, because I started with realism. So it was really like, okay, let me take a step back, but not in the way I'm used to. Like going back to Basquiat, but like going back further than that, and going back to where your basics and your structures, all of that. Because now I'm trying to imply some of this into some of that, and it's really, I'm still working on it. And that's pretty much what this one is. I just really wanted to go outside my box and prove really to myself that I can still do this. Like, I'm not just doing that because I can only do that. I'm doing that because I took years to learn how to do that.
Awesome.
This, I already took my time and learned the steps and learned the rules. And then for me, the rules that my art teacher gave me is you learn the rules, you figure out the rules, you understand the rules, you question the rules, you break the rules, and repeat.
Okay.
And, you go in a cycle. And for my art, that's how I always do it. For me, I can tell you right now, I'm on part 4. I'm on like stage 4. So I'm like breaking down and about to repeat and go back to this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Tell us about, give us a brief synopsis on this piece
This
here.
one's simple. This one is keep your chin up and then, infinite love. This one, all the colors is really supposed to tell the story, This one is really just, through everything, if you keep your chin up, you'll see the light of day, Life will treat you right, Things will go your way, It's a lot of yellow on the undertones because, if you do keep your chin up, that sun's going to hit you, You need that vitamin D and you need that sun energy.
Vitamin D.
Exactly. So it's like all of that is really key.
Keep your head up.
Piece has to have an insert of love in it because that's the main thing is that love. And that's basically what this one's about. This one's a baby boy.
Baby boy. Okay, let's talk about this piece here.
That boy.
All right.
That one's a recent one. That one is less than a week old.
Less than a week old.
Yeah. That one is how do I say? Try to keep it real. That one is, you struggle, you go through struggle, you think you're in it alone, but you're not in it alone. This counter way of thinking. So, mixed messages in this piece really. And that's what I try to show, the good and the bad, having this confusing message of, you're doing good, but, mentally you're not, but, mentally you want to be good, but, physically you're not. So it's like this counterproductive thing. And it's just really, showing thoughts. And this one, you have stuff crossed out, but, the face isn't as clean as this one. This one's a lot more,
I see this.
rough.
More kind of like abstract expressionism type.
Yeah, that one is more, I call it like nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Because it's like, for me, that's the rough, like when you take off the makeup, that's what you see. I keep everything.
The roar.
Yep. I just keep everything bare bones, and that's just, that's how I see it, and that's how I see a lot of things.
Awesome,
straight
man.
to the
Well,
bone.
we appreciate you describing some. Well, let's one more picture there. So this one here,
Simple Boy.
I
That
really
one's-
like that
that
one.
one's
I
simple.
love all of them, but this one here, even though it's like you said, simplicity sometimes it's like So
That
give
one
us-
took about like 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That one's simple. That one is, I call it 9 to 5 because
9 to 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you see the tie wrapped around the neck, kind of choking him out, and you see a little cigarette in his hand, but with the money, floating as smoke, and it's really kind of like a representation of getting into this cycle, and then you not being happy with this cycle, and you having, the money to do things, but you're not using it in the right way. You're not. You're letting your job take control of you, and you're wasting your money on something that is going to, what's the word? It starts with a P. Partially help you. Something that's what's the word that starts with the P? It's trying to partial. It's like, I don't know, but basically, it's only give you like a little bit of happiness for that second, and you're gonna just have to keep going to that and keep going to that and keep going to that, and your heart still can be good, but I changed the heart a little bit because I'm used to doing like the red hearts, pray heart, but I made that one legit because as you get older, you gotta deal with this stuff alone.
Yes, sir.
It's no longer a kid's game. It's real world.
The
game.
real world.
So it's like, I have the eyes white and black because, you got to be able to see both pictures, for me, that's really, really, really important. The mouth is closed, but it's open at the same time because you got to see both pictures. And, you know, you have to kind of put on that facade of, like, when you're at your job, you know, I'm doing okay. Let me get this over with. Let me go
Like
home,
putting
decompress.
on that face.
Exactly. You want to decompress and everything. And that one's really about, you know, dealing with that and trying to, you know, break out that cycle. And the background is clear because you make your decision from now on. When you become that age, you start making your own. Mommy and daddy can't help you no more. It's straight you. You know, they can help if they want, but you have to make the decisions yourself.
You have
now.
to figure it out.
And that's really why I kept the canvas blank in the back, because I want, you know,
Love it.
you gotta make the decisions yourself now. You know, you make the painting now. That's what the person's there for.
Man, I tell you, I love it. All of this.
Thank you.
This work is great. I love where it comes from. I see and feel your passion. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Zero.
Thank you.
You know, and you know this will be one of many. Okay,
Yeah.
we just wanted to make sure that we introduce you, right? Because you are such a talented artist, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing more of your pieces.
Got a
And for
lot
all my
coming.
family out in New York, man, hey, once we get them dates to go and check them out, because I'm born and raised in New York, so I still have family out there, and I know you're gonna do wonderful. You know, they're gonna love your artwork because it's just awesome.
For me,
you
it's
know,
close to home down there. up
Yeah,
there.
man.
It's really, it's
keep your passion.
Yeah.
You know, keep stay consistent.
exactly.
The right people around you, and like you say, just keep it moving, man. Anything else that you want to say before we wrap up this interview? Anything that we need to know? Anything that you wanted to? Tell us what are your social medias?
Oh, yeah.
Any
My Instagram
websites
is
you know,
Identity of Zero, and I've got clothing coming out next month. You know,
Oh, okay.
something, you know, hand painted clothing. If you can't get a piece, you can get a piece of clothing. You know, I like to have people, you know, want to wear it too. You know, you don't have to hang it in your house. You can wear it outside, go walk around in it. You know, that's one of one. You're not gonna get that again. It's not screen printed. It's not, you know, like a major thing. It's a one-of-one thing that's probably not gonna get made again. So that's what I've got going on, and
Cool.
that's what you can expect to see from me in the future. Really, it's a
Awesome.
lot of that. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're about to wrap this up again.
Yep.
This is Jason, Mr. Results Williams, a.k.a. the Dapper Rapper Realtor, also known as J.A.B, a.k.a. Just Business.
That boy.
And yeah, man, we're just here representing, you know, salute to all the creatives out there.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
dreaming. Don't stop dreaming.
Always.
You know, always believe in yourself. If you don't
Always.
believe in yourself, then other people can't believe in you.
Always.
Okay? So, like I said, man, sky's the limit.
Always.
Or you could create the sky.
Exactly.
And fly high. All right, Zero.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know who's in charge. My destiny's to be the best MC. If he blesses me, the rest of them lyrically, they ain't next to me. I'm in it to win it, the longevity. Refuse to lose. Fools think they're better, but they'll never be. Used to battle cats, talk trash, but I'm past that. Trying to make stacks, get some royalty from ASCAP. So while you critics and idiots try to break me, I'ma be on top. I don't care how long it takes me.
I'm a dream catcher.